Good evening, Peru. This is Mary Sexton, Associate Principal and Athletic Coordinator, here tonight to provide you with an update on clinics and intramurals. For those of you that were unable to attend the parent meeting last night, this is the same presentation. So if you have any additional questions after watching this presentation, please reach out. We're going to talk about what clinic and intramurals is going to look like from day to day, our coaches, program offerings, weekly and daily schedules, supplies and equipment, and COVID protocols. Each day you can expect that your athlete is going to be going through warm-ups, conditioning. We want them to get a really good workout while they're here, drills, and then soccer will get into playing half field and full field depending on the skills that the coaches are teaching that day. And our cross-country runners will start by running on campus. But then as we move through the program and we are confident that they understand the safety of running, we will move into establishing some routes in the community so that they can get that authentic cross-country experience. Our coaches that are joining this initiative, Coach Dermody, Coach Dubé, and Coach Flynn will be coaching soccer. And then Coach McAlery and Coach Frey will be coaching cross-country. Our program. We were initially looking at a start date of tomorrow, Thursday. However, when we take into consideration what the students are used to in their normal routines, I think it's better that we start on a Monday. So we're going to look to start on October 5th and run through November 6th. It's going to be the same amount of time, just starting on a Monday instead of a Thursday. This program will run from dismissal through 4 p.m. Each day it will be a parent pickup, and you may only pick up your own student. We do not allow carpooling out of concern for members of varying households being within a confined space within 6 feet of each other. After looking at the student responses, we decided to shift this model to looking at age, skill, and experience level, and breaking the students, especially in soccer, into 2 different groups based on what the coaches feel is appropriate based on their experience level. It will be co-ed like our physical education classes, with safety being our top priority. The weekly schedule. So just like our academic program, students that are in cohort A will attend on their A days, and students that are in cohort B will be on their B days. We decided to keep that consistent. Students already understand it, and staying in that tradition is safer in terms of the pandemic and limiting exposure between groups. Also, as seen with the academic schedule, if there's a 4-day week, students will attend their intramural on their cohort day. So in a 4-day week, we would see intramurals occurring every day. The daily schedule. So we already have asked that students' bags aren't really full with the usual materials, so there may be enough room in their bags for their intramural equipment. But if needed, if they have an additional bag, they will be able to drop it off at the high school locker room in the back hallway. We will have a staff member there to monitor that they're only going in 2 at a time, dropping their materials off 6 feet apart, and then the locker rooms remain locked throughout the day. Upon dismissal, we dismiss in waves. Students will report to the middle school cafeteria. They will have a blend of a study hall and a period of time to change. They'll be able to pick up their bag, change through our bathroom pass system, and then return back. And then at 2:30, students will be walking to their practice site under the supervision of their coach. This is the same model that we have been using at the varsity level. It seems to be working well. So we are going to follow in that same tradition for the intramural program. And then at 4 o'clock, we will ask that you pick up your student at the middle school pickup drop-off location in the middle school staff parking lot next to the cafeteria. And again, that time is 4 o'clock. Supplies. Every student needs to wear a mask. Every coach will be wearing a mask 100% of the time, except during mask breaks, which will be scheduled. If an athlete, say they had a condition or they were just needing a break, they were getting hot, something like that, they need to alert their coach, and their coach will arrange for them to have a mask break, but they would make sure that they're over 12 feet apart from anybody else so that it can be safely conducted. Students will need sneakers or cleats. Cleats are not mandatory. If students do bring them, please remind them that cleats are not to be worn inside the school. Students will need a water bottle. It's really important to stay hydrated. Hydration is a day-long process, so what we drink today is going to affect how we feel tomorrow. So please emphasize to your athlete that it's important to stay hydrated, especially right now, adding the mask onto things. I think that they'll appreciate if they are hydrated. Soccer players, definitely bring your shin guards. And then please just keep an eye on the weather and what's coming up. So if we have, we're going to be getting into cooler weather, there might be a little bit of rain, nothing to stop us from having intramurals, but they may appreciate having a non-cotton sweatshirt or jacket, something to keep them warm with any inclement weather. Also, just on the topic of clothing, we do emphasize that students may not share clothing with other students. If your athlete forgets something, please make sure that they just come to the middle school office and we will try to connect them with what they need in a safe way. COVID protocols, and some of these we've already touched on. We are providing this athletic experience broken into the student cohorts, so that's a level of adherence to the COVID protocols. We are requiring masks for everybody involved. We will be maintaining physical distancing unless the core activity requires closer than 6 feet. That is seen in a soccer game, but you can expect that during drills, anytime that we can avoid that kind of contact, students will be distanced. We will be disinfecting equipment periodically throughout practice, but also at the end. We will be providing mask breaks, and then this is a really important part, is that 4 o'clock comes around and they're heading home, encouraging your athlete to wash their hands, shower, and disinfect personal belongings. Taking that extra precaution is part of being able to have athletics during a pandemic, so please make sure that they take those steps. I always think it's pretty important to say thank you, and there's a lot going on behind the scenes to make this opportunity come together. So I'd like to say thank you to our superintendent and Board of Education, our principals, our nurses, clerical, facilities, buildings and grounds, coaches, and to you as parents and student athletes. I truly believe that everybody has come together to provide this experience, and for this to go how it needs to safely in a pandemic, it really does take all of these groups coming together. So please know that I really appreciate everything that you're doing. I think if we work together, we can make this a very positive experience for our students. That's the conclusion of my presentation. If you have any questions, please reach out. And otherwise, have a great night.